you're at a point in your life, if you're in menopause, that it's just going to be harder with the weight, but your focus is, let me make amazing health markers that I can be proud of, and then if I line, my body will be right where it needs to be in its weight.
I will tell you too, here's an interesting thing that happened. And you do have, I say stay the course. Keep it keto, keep it low carb, pay attention to what's going on to your body. Another thing that can happen, if you didn't have insulin resistance, you might now.
Yeah.
It's not something that you had, because prior to this, and I know I keep going back to the weight thing, but it's also a way to tell what's going on with your body. See, I was beautifully happy with my weight loss. I could have lost another 20, 30 pounds to be down at the perfect number, but overall it was the happiest I've ever been in my life with my body and where I was at. So to start gaining weight and you get this mind trip, you know, this, I almost said a bad word. Okay, so you have to pay attention.
You can say mind fuck on my show if you want to.
Okay.
Keep it real, Day. I got keto.
I know. I keep it so real, but yes, here we go.
So real.
Keto Chow is a customizable shake mix that is also perfect for cooking and baking, giving you simple, nutritionally perfect meal options. Keto Chow. Make keto easy. Discover your favorite flavor at jimmylovesketochow.com.
But insulin resistance was not a huge issue for me, because I could just, my weight was dropping, I was doing good, my markers were beautiful, everything was looking great. Menopause came along, guess what? My blood sugar started spiking. Never had an issue with blood sugar in my entire life.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden I'm getting 135, 145, 150, and I'm like, what the hell? Now, was it the morning sugar? Yes.
Called me and you're like, what the hell, Jimmy?
Yeah, what the hell, Jimmy? And what happened was it balanced out during the day. So that kind of helped me out and explained that to me.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. The other thing though, my cholesterol and my triglycerides, my markers started going wonky when I did my labs. So you just have to know what's going on. And please don't do, if you are a carb addict, sugar addict, food addict, whatever it is, don't do what I did. I'm like the walking poster child for don't do what I did, y'all. Don't become so frustrated and freaked out and depressed that you say, fuck it. There we go. I let that word out and I'll just eat whatever, because it doesn't make a difference anyway. But it really does, because you're only compounding problems that you're going to have worse markers. Your health is going to decline more rapidly. Your blood sugar is going to go out of control.
Like, your brain can trick you into beliefs that aren't true, and very quickly. That's the problem, is sometimes we just get in our own heads and say, well, I want that thing.
No. Husband's going to grab him. Thank you.
When you're talking, I can't hear myself talk. Okay. So I said, when we get in our own heads, sometimes we talk ourselves into things that aren't true. And so we need to make sure that what we're thinking of, well, I want that thing, so therefore that's my body telling me I need it for some reason. Yeah, that's bullshit. Don't do that, guys. I do think the body is smart and it does give us clues, but in that case, I think it just leads you down this slippery slope path. I want to mention one thing, by the way, about the weight, because I've talked to a lot of experts about this, and they're like, you should be lucky. It was Amy Berger that actually put this.
I love Amy.
Amy Berger is amazing. So,
yes.
To It Nutrition, look her up, guys. So she said, if you have weight on your body, be lucky, because that is protecting you from the manifestation of disease forming. As long as you're still dealing with weight on the body and it's still visibly kind of there and growing, you know, with nothing you're doing making that happen, that means your body is desperately trying to save you from some disease state going on, that it's holding back the inflammation, so to speak. So look at it and imagine it like firefighters kind of pushing back on fire that's trying to consume a house. It's trying to consume you, and that fat is a layer of protection. And we don't like to look at it that way. We only have a negative view of, oh, it's grotesque.
Yeah,
look at
exactly.
the goals. But it's actually there to protect you. And if you start looking at it in that way, you don't see it as a negative. Doesn't mean you want it to stay there. It does mean you want to put that fire out, which is why I say put the focus on the health markers, and then maybe all those firefighters trying to hold back all that fire of inflammation off of your body can take a rest, and then it will be able to come off.
Yes, and while your body is doing all of that, while it's trying to work itself out, in the process, you might actually, and this is just encouragement, you might still be gaining a few pounds. Some women, some women are just freaking out because, they've gone through this, and I think they're blessed. Why? Because maybe they've gained 10, 12, maybe 15 pounds.
Yes.
And they're just freaked out because they can't take it back off. And it's just, women, we tend to just really focus in and zoom in on why. And I want it now. I want it now. It's our Baruka moment. But really, you should just be thankful for what it is. It, like you said, it is, your body is doing what it's trying to do. It's trying to adjust to the changes that are coming your way. And there's hope on the other side. Now, my mom has always been heavy. I mean, much heavier than myself. And she forced menopause. I mean, she was going through it at the same time she's going through menopause. She had to have a hysterectomy. So it kind of all did it at once. And she was in her 50s. She did put on more weight, quite a bit more. She broke the 300 barrier. I'm she doesn't have Instagram, so I'm sure she won't mind me telling this. But here's my hope, guys. She's now 70 years old, and she just finally got fed up and said, babe, I need the help.
Yes.
So while I'm over here just pudging it up, my mom's dropping 20 pounds.
Yes.
Oh, my dog just hit my lighting. But my mom's dropping 20 pounds. And how many other women out there who have finally kind of balanced out in menopause? Well, you will finally find that. It might be a lower level of estrogen and progesterone and all those other testosterone levels, but you will finally balance out.
Yeah.
And you will able to come back to it. But again, menopause doesn't just take 1 year. It doesn't end when your period stops for a year.
Yes. Some
women say, I've been going through this for 10 years. Some said, I breezed right through it without a problem whatsoever. So, but at some point, everybody kind of seems to balance back out. And then if weight is still an issue, tackle it. So work on keeping your eating habits healthy. Right. Work on keeping your labs beautiful.
Right. Well, some kind of telltale signs to keep track of, besides the health markers, wonderful things to look at: fasting insulin levels, blood sugar levels. If you're keto, ketone levels would be nice. They're going to tend to be lower at times, and that's okay, especially if you've done this a while. You're going to be keto adapted. But inflammation markers, I mean, we could go down the list of all these kind of markers, but I want to pay attention, have people pay attention to some subjective ones as well. Mood and brain health is such a marker that if you're eating well, you're going to be pretty chill. During the transition, you had those kind of moody, cranky things. Well, now, once you've got the hormones balanced and you're in that menopause full on, your brain should kind of calm down at that point, but it's not going to get degenerative. This is where the carbohydrate restriction comes in handy, because it's going to keep the brain solvent. And I'm about to turn 50. I'm not menopause because I'm not a girl, but yeah. But I've got full faculties about me, and women can be the same way. It's because of the nutrition that does that. And it's not an inevitability you're going to go into Alzheimer's disease, which we see so many people go into nursing homes because dementia and Alzheimer's, and then
Speaking of which, Mr. Jimmy, I hate to interrupt, but one of the things that I am looking into are exogenous ketones.
Yeah.
For your mood and stability and focus, because brain fog is such a huge issue.
Yes.
And your memory is affected. I've always had a very sharp memory, my husband hates it because I remember every little detail for years. But again, you come along into that spot where now memory, you got this brain fog, and you're not quite remembering what's that person's name, and I'm like, oh my God, this is happening. But I do believe that exogenous ketones can be a tool one of the tools that you're going to need a nice big toolbox for this journey. And I think that, you know, but like you said, with the fasting, the blood, you do some intermittent fasting, you keep on track, you do lower those fats, you do raise those proteins, you might incorporate some exogenous ketones for brain health. I don't say for weight loss, because y'all know I don't promote them for that, but use the tools. And I wanted to, if you need help with depression, figure it out quickly. I allowed myself, I'm so terrified of medication. I'm so terrified of antidepressants. Not that I haven't been on them. I did 20 years ago, I did a round of it for like 9 months. But my terror was that my mother, when she went through menopause, went on antidepressants. To this day, she cannot get off of them. And if she does, she goes down to a deep, dark, suicidal place. Maybe that's my own little head trip that I've got to deal with, because the thought of not being me anymore just terrifies me. So hormone replacement therapy, if it didn't do anything, I'm not happy, go, joy, but at least I'm not laying in my bed now like I did for like 4 or 5 months, just solid, just laid in there, you know. I really want to say thank you to real quick, just because I loved your post yesterday, like the head games that you were talking about. Don't believe that crap.
Yeah.
You know, just don't. During this time of your life, don't believe the crap that's coming in, because when you're going through menopause, the mind fuck is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with. We can sit here and be happy and talk about how helpful things you can do, but also know that you have a support community. You know, Jimmy is not a chick, but Jimmy is one of the most compassionate people I know. And I just, you know, this topic is, I think, just so important for a vast majority of women who are like the forgotten women, you know, like nobody talks about us. Nobody says, here's your solution. And maybe it's just because they don't have the answers that it doesn't get talked about.
Well, and that's why I wanted you on today, because I knew you were going to keep it real, because that's who you are. And that's what I love about you. That's why we've been friends for many years in this community. Is I've always appreciated your authenticity and your reality. And yeah, I have a heart for people. So thank you for that. And I try to show that in all my work. But yeah, my Mama Lorene, by the way, she's long gone now, 13, 14 years, but she used to kind of have these old stories. Oh, yeah, you know, Charlie, I went down and met Sally, and then I'm just like, no, I don't know who any of these people are, but apparently you remember them, Mama, also.
Yeah.
Ask her like a simple question of remembering, and I don't remember that, but she's got all these stories in her head. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The brain works to compartmentalize things.
It does, and it's really, really strange, the things that, you know, and I hate to say it, but, you know, with age comes certain light bulb moments, aha moments, you know. Now.
Yes. Oh, I lost your sound.
Did I lose my sound?
All right, it's back now. Go.
Oh, good. So you start understanding your elders a little bit better once you hit this spot. You're like, oh, I get it.
Well, and it makes you appreciate when you've made some lifestyle changes like nutrition. You know, I'm going to give a plug for grounding and sunshine exposure and red light therapy and ice baths and infrared saunas and all these little biohacking. That's not just for the young folk. If you're in menopause or you're getting older, those are things that will enhance all of these things we're talking about here with menopausal women. It's good for people of any age to help control blood sugar and inflammation and all the things.
Just going outside and laying on the lounger and just soaking up the sun is going to help with your mood. I mean, again, you're dealing with vitamin D deficiencies now that maybe you didn't have before, so you need that sunshine. Of course, getting out there and walking. I'm going to say this, it's all easier said than done. There are days that I want to get out there and walk, and when I do it, I feel better for it. I might not lose a pound, but hey, I feel better overall, mind, spirit, body. Grounding, getting my feet out there in that grass, that feels wonderful. You got to do it though.
So here's how you get in the walk. You pop any more podcasts. Most of them are about 45 to 60 minutes, and you got your walk in.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. Hey, good plug there. I love it. But it's true. You can learn while you're going along. Me
yes.
personally, I like a little power music, but do whatever it takes. If you love to listen to your podcast, you can double down. You can get